Salud, amigos.
Hello, you polluted spaceship. Hello and welcome. Good evening, everybody. So last time we saw each other from the last spin from this planet, and there are still more things happening on this planet, and some are very, very touching, even though they're international. Because right now we're going to talk about. I am part of this program for many times. This is my first time of teaching certificate, and I had the old school. I had this certificate from the old school, and I had from the conflicts when I had, especially when I was going through Central America, and this is from the Navy. I had a very strong affection with this naval base. So I was in Natal, I was in the city Natal, and this boat is going down now to Rio de Janeiro, and it'll be there until the next port is sailing right now with motor and with a sail. And this ship school, you have to study and you have to work out a lot, and you need to work in learning all the sailing techniques. And wherever they are right now, they know they're looking and watching us. And we will say hello to our ambassador and to all the crew that are watching or will watch us later on. And please, may we go ahead with the video in what is happening right now. Greeting everybody wherever you may be in the world. From any part in this dear and beloved and only spaceship. And right now we are with this very important boat, this very important ship. We are facing with the legendary, and everybody knows, with the boat from the Republic. And I am here with the Almirant, the German Bolivarian Almirant of the Army, of the Naval Army. And we would like to, among other things, we would like to emphasize the importance of the ship that we're in. We have talked with you as the top authority on the boat. What does this represent? This boat without ship that has come with us through so many journeys. So it's really a big pleasure to have you with us. So this boat and at the same time school is studying. This boat and studying boat, this is the most important one and is most illustrious for all the Venezuelans, for the representative of all Venezuelans, the father of the country. This is a dream of the army, to have for all the crew, for all the students, to bring the theory to practice what is life on the sea. And what we had, and when you have to order, and when we had orders on to build this ship in Spain, especially specifically in Vizcaya, in Celaya port, in 1979. 1979, it was sailed, and it gets incorporated into the Venezuelan or Bolivarian Army, and in 1980, and this has been all these many years. This ship with us, it has been this this school, boat and school, this is the representative, it's the ambassador Without Frontiers. It reaches to all the people of the Latin America, the Caribbean, and the world, and we take the soul of the Venezuelans to all the world. It has become a cultural interest for the country, and on this ship, the crew can be educated directly on the sailor life, on the art of sailing. And we have 30 cruises already. This is the first one for inclusion for the students of and we have everybody from the Bolivarian army, from the aviation, from the naval base and technical base, and from the army. So how do you prepare for 2018 journey that you have for the? It is, you have always participated in the cruise, and this is the first. This is the third one that will be participating in 2018. We participated in 2010, the second in 2012, and this is the third one. We had the instruction to complete the education for the students and we begin a planification and to lead the boat to its to the maximum operation. We will go ahead and we will change the 26 sails, and we will change the motor, also for the sails of all this ship. And we also had maintenance for all the ship. And in 2017 we hadn't done yet the maintenance of the ship, but right now we see that it is what has been one of the most important years for maintenance. We also did maintenance on the three main generators, especially for the emergency generator also, and the propulsors, and for all the systems, for the navigation systems. So we could trust that this ship will return to port once this yacht race will be over, the one in Mexico. It goes for 12 countries, and in July 31st it will return to port, but with 12 other sailing boats, and then it will leave for August 4th for Dominican Republic and Mexico to the island of Cozumel, and we will end with the yacht race in Veracruz, specifically now in Brazil, to the port of Natal, and then to Rio de Janeiro. And also we will come and visit your comrade, your dear Professor Walter Martinez. Will go to Uruguay, Punta del Este, and then to Montevideo. We will also visit the colleagues in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and others. And we will go to Chile. We will visit 5 ports in Chile, and then to Ecuador, Peru, Panama, Curacao, and Cartagena. And we will return to Venezuela. This is very symbolic from the boat, and now we are very proud here in Dossier that we can see the map, because to be able to visualize the longitude and the latitude and all the information that you send us is not only that is very very dear to us, to all the Venezuelans that are watching, but this also so we can see that it is a boat without frontiers, without borders. So how are you receiving those ports? So all the ports and the Supreme Commandant, he said that it was the best to integrate it among the people, and this is why we have this boat, and this is why the reason for this Ambassador Without Frontiers, to be able to integrate the people of Latin America. And of course, we bring culture, this gentility from the Venezuelan people, the solidarity, the moral of the republic, the military honor, and their strength of the army. And this is also an integration for all the people, for the for all the people in Latin America, for all the uniformed people in Latin America. So there are 74 crew, 100 official crew and 74 students, and they belong to the crew, and we sail for these 24 students. But in total it's 124. So how many days will you be sailing on the sea? So this is very exciting to be able to follow you. So we will go 140. I will sail for 146 days, so that these students become sailors. So it will be a great experience for these students. So these officials will become the great leaders of the future, and for the Bolivarian country, for the army. And now we have 83 days on port to be able to integrate the culture from our country and to exchange. So you can see that Venezuelans, once we leave our frontiers, our borders, to visit 6 countries that Bolivar helped to free also, and we visit all of these countries because we brought freedom to these countries. We brought love to these countries because that is what the army represents, and they represent the freedom that the liberator Bolivar brought to all these countries. So what we used to say that with all this, when the sails are left open and you begin sailing with this great glorious flag, there's an anecdote, and this was the boat that had the biggest flag in the world at the moment, and we had to return. So it was such an impact to see all this immense flag. So this huge flag of 3 colors was inaugurated when the boat sailed, and it represents all the Venezuelan people. It represents not only for the army, Bolivarian army, but for this boat and boat school. So this is how we call this. We call it the Ambassador Without Frontiers. This boat and its crew are all our cadets, our students, and they have a lot of dreams. They have a lot of hopes. These are our students. These are our future officials that will bring this. They're working on this ship. They're learning to bring the theory into practice. So they will be expert. They generate expertise. So to know all the art of navigation, to know and master all the navigation issues, to navigation, the machinery, to all these, what the officials need to know for the army, all these cadets, these officials, and the way how the sailors say that we talk with the sea. So, and the crew talks with the sea. So the ship will become a cultural insignia, because we live and prepare and maintain our boat. Our commander-in-chief of the Bolivarian Army, the constitutional president of the Republic, Nicolás Maduro, he gives us all that we need for maintenance, for sailing to all the ports. In spite of the blockade we are suffering, in spite of the economical war that we're facing, we have found our professional, our leaders and our boats. We have the support of them to go ahead and sail the seas. So I am the lieutenant, Luis Carrabaciel. I am the lieutenant on board. I will bring you give a brief explanation for all the machinery museum. Now we have here a phase, have an equipment to ask for information regarding the weather and the climate and the maps. On this side we have equipment to measure the depth of the sea. On this side we have electronic box that we use for navigation. Here we have a compass that we use to guide us always for the path that we're meant to follow in relation to the real path. Here we have a radar sonar, which is an equipment that we use to find targets in our perimeter. On this side we have an electronic map. It's an equipment that we use to help us with navigation, to be able to have a safe return to port. And finally on this side we have two equipments. One is Kelvin and the other one is Galvin. And we use this to have our geographic position with the geographic coordinates. At this moment, we are sailing in a geographic position. I can put it here. Latitude 10, 31 point north, longitude 6759.94 west. We found with the camera. This is very amazing how many elements that we can find here, classical elements that we have in the army. It's known for its technology, for its high technology. Is there anything here that we can find to leave open? Because this boat is not. We would think about. This is a very modern ship. Sometimes people think about old and ancient ships, but this has the modern equipment with also the classics of a boat. We can find here. Initially, we can find the recipes for any cadet that they need to learn something. So we can see here. We wanted to thank you that you led us to come to your ship. So here, yes, we're traditional. We maintain our traditions. We have the anchor. Here, for example, all the cadets, the students, they follow a routine, a sailing routine, complete sailing routine. They prepare themselves. They take down stars in mid-morning and 45 degrees. They measure the sun. They measure the meridians, and the way was done. In the measuring the meridians for the position, and 45 degrees, that is at 3 p.m. That is also they measure the sun and they determine the meridian and they determine their position. So they need to. What I want to emphasize here is that the navigation is it's like a little. The navigation here, you need to learn how to in the classic style, and also including the modern technology. So yes, this is a very scientific relation. You need to learn mathematics. You need to learn this. All these cadets learn, and they remember all these moments. They know electronic navigation. And they also learn to they study the coasts. They study the boats, the ships. They have two navigations. We don't lose the tradition from the astronomical sailing, the astronomical tradition, and also in 2004 to 2007, our Supreme Commander Rafael Chavez insisted on having a recognition of the ship, and in 2007 we had to go. And we had many changes made. So that's why we keep the tradition. So everybody has their memories. So it's a dream for all that many people like to enjoy. That in here, but what the Caribbean is gets angry. You need to be very good sailing. I had to sail when after the passing of a hurricane. And how have you been doing lately? Here we have a knowledge to keep away from the pressure. So the bridge officer it's always paying attention. It's always attentive to the pressure. But here it is history has been has faced an angry sea, and yes, even and this allows it to be a very quick and fast ship that answers to its commander. That we can have all these 23 sails that answer, so it can help to change its position and to have its main. So there are two cross masts, two cross shops, and we have them in. But the machinery is the secondary system to the sailing, to the sails, and the boat is sailing, and we had a sea test verifying all the systems, and we're very happy because this boat only is given great results. Everything is working fine. So, and I believe that this ship school, and we're gonna have for a long time. Maintenance that we just went through, and a planification that we applied for excellence, and there's all this, the directors, all the army, the top chiefs in the army, all the maintenance department, everybody has participated to keep this boat completely afloat and everything working tip-top. Top shape, and everything here. And I believe that this ship / school will now will bring great name to the Venezuelan Republic, as it has always done. But I want to thank you to all the Venezuelan people, to all the businessmen, all the business persons who are part of this revolution, who believe in their country, and all their effort that they have put into that this ship can be ready and can sail from the port. And here you can see that all the audience of the program can have a look at all of this, and you can say that it's called Bravo Eco 11. So Bravo Eco 11, there's only one Bravo Eco 11, and that is a singular and unique boat and ship that is we need. How can you not admire it? But it's part of this. There's an intention to repeat it, and in many other ships that want to be schools all over the world, they want to repeat what you're doing here right now. So yes, the crew of this ship, Simón Bolívar, in this parade that we had, we had this pavilion with the flag, and this was proven here in the ship in 1996, and in that cruise we went through Miravalles. And all the countries have tasted it already, and we have an anecdote that this ship school from Mexico, they asked the Venezuelan pavilion to have the flag, to have and from now on we were so happy to have this pavilion. Of course, It looks very big, but that's how that is the size of our love that we have for our country. We're a people, we're a uniformed people we're joined by the other Venezuelans, because the country as the country is the people, the woman, the man that occupies this country. So all this flag will lead other countries, and will represent the country. To represent all the people, all the men and the women from Venezuela. And of course now here we have there's no comparison when this is to show how all the freedom that we have visiting the 6 nations. This where we live, to bring freedom to people, to Venezuelans, the independence that they gave their life, freeing these nations, bringing sovereignty to other countries. Especially in the last years, last decades, we have received almost 6 million of Colombians that we love, because the word Colombia, the word Colombian means union, the union of the big country. It was a dream it was Bolivar's dream. And in spite of the economical war, the people from Venezuela have always helped our brothers and sisters from Colombia to make real this united country. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Those are attitudes that we have seen from some people, but especially here, having 6 million Colombian brothers and sisters that have found freedom, dignity, and work, that now we have 7, 8, 10. They have bases against us after they have given some bases away, and the plan that they have to control our petroleum, our oil, our minerals, and our biodiversity is to think about the traitor Santander, to remember the history. And I ask myself, how can we talk about the education here to assume this very raw reality, and at the same time maintain this hope, this young hope that from this crew, these young students, because not only technology and the computers and the classrooms, and we need to see the sea. They're on the sea learning. So all this knowledge that we have, the sailing knowledge, and the cadets here, and they develop their conscience, the conscience on what Venezuela has been, what the Republic of Venezuela has been, and where are we headed. When you analyze history, you can evaluate different traditions carried out. For example, the 30 September 1928, when they tried to kill the president of Gran Colombia. It's part of the tradition to also learn about the traitors in Latin America, all these people that tried to hurt. But you can also take a look at other traditions, other people. The General Zamora, for example, that when they coming back from this heroic battle, and what happened to Marshal Sucre, he didn't die in Ayacucho, but because of the enemies that he had, the internal and external enemies that he had, they killed him. And of course, in the officers, you need to create this conscience, because without conscience, it's very hard to achieve commitment. And this conscience, you develop it through knowledge, and this is what we do here in this boat. Here we educate officers that are technical people, but also solidarity with their people, And Venezuela, I cannot say more, has never been more solidarity with everybody. They have brought freedom and they wanted to change the geopolitical strategy of the continent. And right now, it's also considered as a bad example. And they have us. They have Venezuela's target, and you have always the traitor. I have always the person talking and saying, and of course we have all these all this adversity against us, everything. Yes, of course, this we have a holistic and integral education. It has to be holistic education because we're going through a very hard time, very rough times because of our resources, our mineral and oil resources, and the cadet represents the people, and the people has shown a lot of maturity, a lot of political maturity, and our people do not deserve we do not deserve the harsh conditions from this economical blockade, and how the cadet representing the people also has conscience because he's part of society and they're part of society too. And right now we have very mature officials that they love their country, especially those awakened people, the love for their country, for all the people, for our leaders that helped to build Venezuela. And we are different. We're different, and new army now. Socialist solidarity, and we're and always thinking about everybody, all about the people, and only concerned about sovereignty to the republic and the right of the people to choose and to determine their own government and to respect popular choice. So it's also also perspective. How do you have how do you express your Christian principles? Do you have priests? How do you do it here? We first of all, the Constitution, the national Constitution, is a freedom of cult, freedom of religion, and of course we have our mass. We have priests, and they guide the principles and they represent the principles of the book, and all of the. They're also professional sergeants, and they occupy They occupied both these two roles: this Christian education, and they bring it to their officers, to their sergeants, and their purpose is to increase moral, to instill ethical purposes, ethical principles, to have a sergeant, an officer, to have to create in conscious in this in our officers of solidarity, of the value of the morals, of the temperance, and above all, in the religious area we can find all these attributes. So what does the Virgin of the Valley represent? She's our guide. We always dedicate ourselves to her, and we ask blessings whenever we sail, so that journey be safe. And of course, when we are able to return to the port with a fulfilled mission, and we celebrate with the Virgin of the Valley, and throughout these years, and all these sailors in their ship have a Virgin of the Valley, and if the commander is on the ship, they will talk to the Virgin, and ask permission before sailing the ship. And remember one time a ceremony from a ceremony to bring up an image of the Virgin, and it was very, very beautiful to see this, to have all this ceremony, to see also another aspect of the naval forces. So carry the procession. We sail it. We sail the procession, and we carry out mass. We carry out the mass, and we have our own. We make our own offering of the Virgin that is beneath the sea, was submerged, and we let the people know that we have the mass sailing, and it's amazing how the procession, all the processions of the boats that we have while we're carrying out this profound Catholic ritual, and we have a procession in the sea, and it's the same, it's sea and land, and the people that accompany all this, accompanied by the fishermen, and they have the fishermen. They're also very devoted to the Virgin, especially to have good results in fishing, and we do this procession. The naval officers, the crew, the fishermen, and also from the boat that we have. And I was born front of the sea, and also have this. I was born front of the sea, and I would like you to give us a message for the youth, a message from your boat and your ship. And of course, boats have souls, but this one has something special. But whatever port they arrive, it calls people. It's fascinating. It's very interesting to have in Montevideo. They was very. They wanted to be in the show, but they couldn't. But I remember the ceremony that we had for the arrival of this beautiful boat in school, and all the response from the classic artillery. This ritual of welcoming, which is not modern, but is very profoundly essential for all of us who have been in a formal army education. What does it represent? What does it have? Especially our country is a maritime country. That we have 700,000 square kilometers of coast, of economical coast. We have 314 islands and 12 federal dependencies, and the territory of Venezuela has an area of 960,445 square meters, but only exclusive economic zone, we have 170,000 square kilometers. It's almost more than 60%. So in that big space, we have 314 islands and isles and 12 federal dependencies in an insular territory, and all the coastal territory. So we have 10 coastal states. And so what does the sea represent for the youth? It represents this area, this space, for this wide blue, open, expansive area. This represents our resources, our biodiversity resources, also our mineral resources, gas. And what does this boat represent? This boat represents its officers, its crew. They sail this Caribbean Sea, and we have our fifth part of this Caribbean Sea. So I say to all the young Venezuelans, the future, because they are the youth, they are the hope for the country, they are the leaders of this Bolivarian army, and of course, keep the hope. I tell them, keep the hope. The hope of this army, and in this occasion, the army will always be with the people, from Bolivar's people, and of course the President Nicolás Maduro, our commander-in-chief. He was doing a big effort in spite of this economical war that has been made against us, and trying to keep the peace and sovereignty not only of the Bolivarian people, but also of the development of its army. This this chamber with a flag of all the countries that are all the brethren countries of this Latin America, to be a student here, to be invited here, is this sacred space of this insignia. So please, can you talk a little bit, because you can find some jewels here, and there's something so warm in the wood. All these trophies that you can see here from all the yacht races worn. Yeah, so the insignia from the ship is the most stable area. So this is the most stable part of the ship, and navigation here is this antique and classic sailing. This is where the highest commanders used to be here. The commander and all the almirants, they would be here because they would be in charge of navigation. It is a privileged area, and of course the commander invites all the cadets, and here they have the opportunity to talk for 5 minutes for the subject, any subject that the second commander chooses. So they go through here to take the experience with them, to socialize with their instructors and with their commanders. So this boat ship is known as the Ambassador Without Borders mainly because we bring the Bolivarian thoughts and Chavez thoughts to all the people of the world. Here, the frontiers created by laws, they do not apply. We are motivated that we bring the message of union, of peace, and the gentility of the Venezuelan people. I feel like I'm in a sailing university from this army. I am very grateful to you, Almirant, to have me here, and as a honorary crew that I am part of this symbolic and important ship. I greet and salute you, and represent all the people that would have the army in their hearts and would like to be here, and for all the latitudes and longitudes that followed your trip, and all these areas in all these countries. So yes, I would like to extend my greetings to all the Venezuelans, and know that they have the Venezuelan army have your back. It's a Venezuelan army that is loyal, that is solidarity, that has great love for its people. The people that we know that we have, they know that they trust us, but the army also trusts the political maturity of the people. We know that the situation that we're going through, and you can trust us that you can trust the Venezuelan people, that the government and the army and the people, it's a triad. It's a firm triad, and we will advance, and we will come through. And we need to confuse the classic. Classic is the classic, and the classic will always shine. So, good winds and good sailing. Act of presence in this port in TLC 14, Bolivarian ports, the President of Nicolás Maduro, the Constitutional President of Venezuela, Commander-in-Chief of the National Army, is walking down the port. Bolivarian port, ready to board the ship Simón Bolívar, Bravo Echo 11, ready to be received by Alfonso Gregorio Méndez, its almirant, and received with honors, with the necessary honors and protocol. Chavez lives. Independence and country. We will be free and victorious. A sailor never abandons another sailor. They never abandon. Commander-in-Chief, permission to talk with you. Welcome to our legendary and revolutionary deck of the boat ship Simón Bolívar Bravo Eco 11, our ambassador without borders. I inform you that we have finished our complete operational maintenance to finish our cruise for international waters, to the international Latin American frigate, to 13th cruise of yours. We're very proud of you. Your country is very proud of you. We recognize the best in you, the best of you, the best that the Army or the Venezuelan Army has to offer. I congratulate you. Welcome aboard, President. The Ministry of Popular Culture, through the cultural institution and through its rights day, and through Providence 1416 in the Gazette, in the Bolivarian, published in the Gazette 4900 in May 2016, rectifies that the ship school Bravo Eco 11 Simón Bolívar is a cultural heritage site, and it's defended as a cultural patrimony, and it brings symbolic, historical, and aesthetical treasures and gains to our country. We deliver from Ministry of Culture. We give it to the certificate of a cultural and historical good. We present it to the President. We present it to President Nicolás Maduro, Commander-in-Chief of the Army. Given to Nicolás Maduro Mondos, President of the Venezuelan Republic, Commander-in-Chief of the Army, the certificate by which this boat has been named as a cultural historical good, and also to the commander of the ship Simón Bolívar. Chavez lives. President, the Republic will be free and independent. A sailor never abandons another sailor, never abandons a sailor. Commander-in-Chief, permission to talk with you, permission to receive the certificate that certifies that this ship, Simón Bolívar Bravo Eco 11, as a patrimony, of a cultural and historic patrimony. Yes, it's a cultural and a patrimony for Latin America, South America, and Caribbean, and we're all one people. I am very happy to say this. I put it in the highest of a part of the ship, and to explain it to everybody that steps in your boat, a sacred vessel, that this is a patrimony. This is the patrimony of our people. Chavez lives, and the country continues. Victorious forever. A sailor never abandons another sailor. Commander-in-Chief, permission to retire. Comrades, we have as a special guest, Walter Martinez, a hand for Walter Martinez. He is an Almirante-in-Chief of world television, Almirante-in-Chief of the truth, of a peaceful world, the world that is coming. I would like to announce that, having with this journalist here, this international journalist born in Montevideo, but raised in Venezuela, I would like to announce that while you are here, while you're in your journey, Venezuela, I have ordered the army along with our people in a civic and military union to carry out the operations of defense, multidimensional defense of the territory of our country, the operations and military exercises, Independence 2018. We gave the army under my orders. We will carry out these military orders along with this military reserve, with the military Venezuelan military, and with the people. We will sharpen all the targets. We'll sharpen the movement of all the tanks. We will sharpen all the missiles of all the helicopters and airplanes. We will sharpen our target of the soul, because this is a sacred territory. We don't mess with anybody, but we will never accept that the military and foreign boot touch the sacred soil of Venezuela. Never. And if they want peace, you need to win it. We need to win it. So I said like that because I'm a pacifist, but I am a follower. Mahatma Gandhi, I'm a follower of Nelson Mandela. I admire Martin Luther King. I am the son of the legacy of Chavez. I am a pacifist, but I am also a warrior of peace. From the Caribbean to Orinoco, from the Amazonian jungle to Maracaibo, from east, south, northwest, the army, Venezuelan army, demonstrating to the world that Venezuela is an independent territory, independence and freedom and peace, peace and more peace. This is what we want. This is what we earn. So good sailing, good ship, good winds, with our blessings from our God and with protection from our Lord Jesus Christ. May your journey be successful. From the cruise, be successful from all the Latin American waters. Blessings to you, blessings to all your people and your family, and blessings from your people. And I would like to make a toast on the day that you're leaving for Latin American waters. This yell of love and unity. Chavez lives. And we will say it as straight, to say it harder and louder. Independence and country, socialist country. Until victory. God bless you.
Lástima que nuestra música la tenían muy olvidada porque algunos modernistas nos miran con mala cara. Dicen que los campesinos escuchar a Reinaldo Armas, a Montoya y al Carrao, a Doñona y a Mirán. Pero les quiero decir que eso a mí no me amilana, que seguir defendiendo a esta música apreciada. Ojalá que en un futuro se escuche en Chile, España, en Puerto Rico y Brasil. En la tierra negra. Se escucha en la China o en la radio italiana, por ahí dice un refrán. El soñar no cuesta nada. Tampoco es un porque si se les ponen las ganas, vamos a luchar unidos. A pura capa y espada. No importa que sea del Zulia, de Mérida, de Guayana, lo importante es que tú quieras a la patria donde quieras. Levantemos la moral, las cartas están echadas, cantemos todos el himno de esta patria soberana. pasiones cuando el pueblo reclama. Conmigo pueden contar, el agua y en las manos. No tengo riqueza alguna, tampoco es que tengo fama, pero soy un cantador, como una garganta clara. Cantemos todos el himno, esta patria soberana, y aquí
voy a hacer una historia, hay una historia de la inmensidad del amor, para dejarle un recuerdo, hay un recuerdo a todito mi paisano. Compadre, usted que es mi amigo, présteme la mula zaina, a ver si puedo pasear, cógela por el viaje, yo por esa manga al mantecar y le estacada por tu suavidad, Vicente Quintero inolvidable, Palmarito y Guadualito, por el Horta y el Amparo, Puerto Pa' y la Trinidad, saludé que van a Pablo, el Jaguar y Guachimal, con vecinos de Guachara, cuando por esa manga al mantecar y le estacada por tu suavidad, Vicente Quintero inolvidable, Palmarito y Guadualito, por el Horta y el Amparo, Puerto Pa' y la Trinidad, saludé que van a Pablo, el Jaguar y Guachimal, con vecinos de Guachara.
Ambassador without frontiers, good sailing and good winds and good sailing. Is a boat school or ship school. Simón Bolívar Bravo Echo 11.